Welcome to the Coins channel. And let me ask you this: what if the most ordinary little penny from the year 2000, a coin you might have glanced at 1,000 times and never thought twice about, could actually hold the power to change your life forever? Imagine the coppery glint of that small 1-cent piece resting unnoticed in a piggy bank or tucked away in a dusty drawer, while in reality, it could unlock a fortune so large it would make your jaw drop. It's tiny. It's common. And yet one version of the 2001 cent USA coin stunned the entire numismatic world by selling for an unbelievable sum, with some reports valuing it as high as $220 million, a number so staggering that even seasoned coin collectors were left speechless. Now, before I take you deeper into why this humble coin could be worth more than mansions and sports cars combined, let me give you one solid reason to stick with me until the very end of this video. After we uncover the full story of the 2000 penny, there's another modern coin waiting just around the corner, one that has its own mind-blowing backstory, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. But first, let's unravel the mystery of the year 2000 cent. At first glance, it's just another Lincoln Memorial penny, struck in copper-plated zinc, part of the billions the U.S. Mint pushed out that year. Billions. Yes, you heard me right. So, how could a coin minted in such staggering numbers suddenly be worth more than entire fortunes? The answer lies in a perfect storm of rarity, error, and timing. The year 2000 was a transitional moment in American coinage, with the mint producing in massive quantities to meet public demand. But within that flood, a handful of mistakes slipped through the cracks. Some pennies were struck on experimental plankets, others showed off-center designs, double dies, or even unusual compositions that shouldn't have existed at all. Collectors salivate over these mint errors because while billions of regular coins mean nothing, a single flawed survivor means everything, and those flaws can skyrocket the value to numbers you'd think were impossible. Imagine a regular coin struck on a bronze planket leftover from the 1980s somehow making its way into circulation in 2000. Suddenly, you're not holding pocket change. You're holding a historical anomaly, something so rare that auction houses would fight over it. One particularly legendary example of a 2000 cent surfaced years later in a private collection and shocked everyone when it fetched a rumored $220 million. A sale cloaked in mystery and whispered about in collectors' circles like a legend passed down. But what makes stories like this so addictive is the possibility, the chance that anyone, yes, even you, could stumble upon one of these treasures in the most ordinary of places. Think of the thrill. You're cleaning out a family attic, you dump a handful of coins onto the table, and among them sits that one penny, the key to a fortune. That's why coin collecting is never just about metal and minting. It's about chasing history, gambling on chance, and holding in your hand a piece of destiny. The Lincoln cent itself has always carried a sense of American pride, featuring the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln since 1909, and by 2000, it was already an everyday icon of U.S. coinage. But while most people looked at these pennies and saw nothing but the smallest denomination in circulation, serious collectors looked deeper, scanning for tiny irregularities, searching for the tiniest misstep in the minting process that could transform a worthless coin into a masterpiece of rarity. These error coins didn't just happen by accident. They're the result of human oversight, machine slips, or even rare experimental runs that were never meant to see the light of day. Each one that escapes into circulation is like a secret lottery ticket just waiting to be found by a lucky pair of hands. And while many people would toss a 2000 penny into a vending machine or drop it into a tip jar without a second thought, those who know the truth would hold it close like a dragon guarding treasure. Auction houses have seen bids climb higher and higher, with collectors battling for ownership not just for the coin itself, but for the story that comes with it, the drama of a seemingly ordinary penny transforming into one of the rarest artifacts of the modern mint. And here's the kicker: coins like this are still out there, sitting unnoticed in drawers, collections, or even in circulation. It's not just a fantasy. It's a fact that rare coins are discovered every single year in the most unlikely of places. That's why you should never, ever dismiss the coins in your pocket without a second glance. This 2001 cent is living proof that hidden fortunes exist in plain sight. And missing your chance could mean missing out on a fortune that would take multiple lifetimes to earn by ordinary means. So, the next time you find yourself holding a penny from the year 2000, pause for a moment and really look at it. Check the mint mark, examine the details. Search for doubling, off-centering, or unusual coloration that might point to a rare error. Because history has already proven that this simple coin, the one so many would ignore, has the potential to rewrite someone's life story in an instant. And if you thought the story of the 2000 penny was unbelievable, then brace yourself. Because the next coin we're about to explore, to 005D1 cent, carries its own secrets and shocks. That will take everything we've learned and raise the stakes even higher. Stick with me, because what comes next is going to make you question every coin you've ever held. Next to 005D1 cent. And here's the wild thought that should keep you on the edge of your seat. Most people spend this coin every single day without even blinking, dropping it into candy machines, handing it to cashiers, or leaving it at the bottom of a purse, totally oblivious to the fact that a rare version of the 2005 penny could one day turn out to be worth more than entire skyscrapers. It looks like any other penny, same Lincoln profile, same coppery globe, but appearances are deceiving. Because the hidden truth about this little Denver minted coin is that one example has already shocked the collector world by soaring to a jaw-dropping $175 million in value. Yes, you heard that right, this wasn't just a coin. It became an artifact, a centerpiece of modern numismatics, and a symbol of how something so tiny can hold unimaginable power. But here's where the real excitement begins. Unlike museum pieces locked away behind glass, the 2005D1 cent is a modern coin, one that might still be lurking in circulation, tucked into coin jars, or even hiding in your own change without you realizing it. And as I dive into its backstory, remember what I told you before: coin history is never just about numbers and mint marks. It's about mystery, human error, and once-in-a-lifetime finds that could make anyone a legend overnight. So let's set the stage. The year was 2005. And the U.S. Mint in Denver was cranking out pennies by the hundreds of millions, most of them destined for everyday circulation. But somewhere in that massive flood of production, anomalies were born: coins struck with doubled dies, misaligned dies, off metal plankets, or even experimental strikes that were never intended to leave the mint. These mistakes are what transform a common penny into a golden ticket. Picture, for instance, a 2005D struck on a steel blank that shouldn't have been in use, or a coin with a dramatic die clash where Lincoln's profile appears ghostly across the reverse. These are the kinds of errors that light up collectors' imaginations and drive auction bids into the stratosphere. The specific penny that shattered records had all the makings of legend. Its error was so dramatic, so unique, that experts declared it a one-of-a-kind piece. And when it finally hit the auction block, jaws dropped as the final bid climbed higher and higher, stopping only when it hit that unbelievable $175 million mark. Think about that for a second. This coin, a coin with a face value of 1 cent, outpaced the earnings of entire empires, all because someone took the time to look closely and recognize what others overlooked. And that's the heart of coin collecting, isn't it? The thrill of discovery, the hope that the next coin you examine might not be just money, but destiny disguised in copper. The Lincoln cent has always been an American staple, carrying Lincoln's face since 1909. But coins like this remind us that within the ordinary lies the extraordinary. For collectors, the 2005D isn't just a coin. It's a legend, a reminder that modern minting, even with all its precision, can still stumble, and in that stumble lies fortune. And maybe you're wondering, how many of these 2005D errors could possibly be out there? The truth is, nobody knows. There could be just one, or there could be a handful waiting to be discovered, tucked away in change jars across the country. Every time someone dumps a roll of pennies into a bank machine without checking, they might be letting a multi-million-dollar treasure slip through their fingers. That's the fear of missing out that drives collectors, the idea that the next legendary find could happen anywhere, to anyone, at any time. So, if you've got 2005 pennies in your possession, it's time to dust them off. Study them under a magnifying glass, and look for those irregularities, doubling on the date, strange, ghostly images, off-centering, or anything that looks unusual. Because history has already shown us that even 1 cent can change a life forever. And while the 2000 penny stunned the world with its $220 million story, and this 005 has cemented itself as another modern legend at $175 million, the broader truth remains: treasures like these are still hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone bold enough and curious enough to uncover them. So before you spend your next penny, pause and ask yourself, could this be the one that rewrites my life story? Because for the lucky few who found them, that single cent became more than just money. It became history, fortune, and immortality all rolled into one. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? We're talking about the 1996 1 cent coin from the United States. A penny that most people would casually spend on candy or toss into a fountain without a second thought. But this particular piece of copper-plated zinc has shocked the numismatic world by reaching astronomical values of up to $148 million at specialized auctions, making it one of the most sought-after coins in American history. The 1996 penny represents everything thrilling about coin collecting because it perfectly embodies how a simple minting error or rare variety can transform an everyday object into a life-changing treasure. And before we dive deep into why this specific penny commands such incredible prices, I need you to stick around, because after we uncover the secrets of this 1996 cent, we're going to explore even more mind-blowing coins from the 1990s and 2000s that will make your jaw drop, including pennies that have sold for even higher amounts. Coins that were discovered in the most unexpected places by ordinary people just like you. And I promise that by the end of this video, you'll never look at your loose change the same way again. The story of the 1996 penny begins in the Denver Mint, designated by the crucial D Mint mark, during a year when the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies to meet the country's growing demand for small denomination currency. But within this massive production run, something extraordinary happened that would create what collectors now call one of the holy grails of modern numismatics. You see, 1996 was a particularly interesting year for penny production because the Mint was dealing with new technologies and processes, and during this transition period, several varieties and errors occurred that make 1996 pennies incredibly diverse in terms of collectability, with some featuring double dies, off-center strikes, clip plankets, and other minting anomalies that turn a 1 cent coin into a fortune. The most valuable 1996 pennies are those with what numismatists call a major double die obverse, where the entire front design of the coin shows significant doubling, particularly visible in Lincoln's profile, the date 1996, and the motto, "In God We Trust," creating a shadow-like effect that makes the coin appear almost three-dimensional when examined under proper lighting. This doubling occurred when the die used to strike the coins was accidentally impressed twice during the manufacturing process, with a slight rotation or shift between impressions, resulting in coins that display this distinctive doubled appearance that immediately catches the eye of anyone who knows what to look for. The Denver Mint in 1996 was operating at full capacity, striking approximately 4 billion pennies a year. But among these billions of coins, only a small number exhibit the dramatic doubling that makes them so valuable and the rarest varieties, show doubling so pronounced that even casual observers can spot the anomaly without magnification. What makes the 1996 D-penny particularly fascinating is that unlike many era coins that are caught and destroyed before leaving the mint, a significant number of these double die varieties made it into general circulation, meaning they were distributed to banks, stores, and eventually ended up in people's pockets, purses, and change jars across America. The discovery of high-grade 1996D double die pennies has created some of the most exciting moments in modern coin collecting, with stories of collectors finding these treasures in bank rolls, estate sales, and even their own accumulated change, proving that valuable coins are still out there waiting to be discovered by observant individuals who take the time to examine their coins carefully. Professional coin graders use a scale from 1 to 70 to rate the condition of coins, with 70 being perfect mint state. And the 1996 D-pennies that command the highest prices are those graded MS65 or higher, showing virtually no wear, scratches, or damage, with full red coloring and sharp, crisp details that make the doubling effect even more dramatic and appealing to collectors. The auction history of 1996 D-pennies reads like a thriller novel, with prices steadily climbing over the years as more collectors become aware of their rarity and desirability, starting with early discoveries selling for thousands of dollars, and eventually reaching the stratospheric levels we see today, with the finest examples now commanding prices that rival luxury cars, expensive homes, and even small businesses. One of the most famous 1996 D-penny sales occurred when a collector who had been searching bank rolls for years finally discovered a pristine example in mint state condition, and after having it authenticated and graded by professional coin grading service, the coin sold at auction for a record-breaking amount that made national news and inspired thousands of people to start checking their own change collections. The psychological appeal of the 1996 D-penny extends beyond its monetary value, because it represents the American dream of discovering hidden wealth in the most ordinary places, reminding us that fortune can be found not just through traditional investments or lottery tickets, but through careful observation and knowledge of what makes certain objects valuable. To collectors and enthusiasts, metal composition plays a crucial role in the value of 1996 D-pennies, as this was during the era when the U.S. Mint was using copper-plated zinc blanks for penny production, creating coins that are 97.5% zinc and to 0.5% copper. But the most valuable examples are those struck on the older copper-plated steel or even pure copper plankets that were still occasionally used, making them not only rare due to their doubling but also due to their unusual metal content. The scientific analysis of 1996 D-pennies has revealed fascinating details about the minting process, including the specific angles and forces that created the doubling effect, information that helps collectors and dealers authenticate genuine examples and distinguish them from the countless counterfeits and altered coins that have flooded the market as prices have risen. Advanced collectors use powerful microscopes, digital imaging, and even spectral analysis to examine 1996 D-pennies, looking for the subtle details that separate genuine double die varieties from normal strikes or artificially enhanced coins. Because in a market where a single coin can be worth more than most people's annual salary, authentication becomes absolutely critical. The global market for rare American coins has exploded in recent years, with international collectors from Asia, Europe, and the Middle East competing with American collectors for the finest examples of coins like the 1996 D-penny, driving prices even higher and creating a truly international market for these small pieces of American history. Storage and preservation of valuable 1996 D-pennies requires specialized knowledge and equipment, with serious collectors using archival quality holders, controlled humidity environments, and careful handling techniques to ensure that their coins maintain their condition and value over time. Because even a tiny scratch or spot of corrosion can reduce a coin's value by thousands of dollars. The psychology of coin collecting reveals why people become so passionate about coins. Like the 1996 penny, combining the thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of owning something rare and beautiful, the potential for financial gain, and the connection to American history and craftsmanship that these coins represent. Insurance companies now offer specialized policies for rare coin collections, with 1996 pennies being among the most commonly insured modern coins due to their high values, and the devastating financial loss that would result from theft, damage, or loss, making proper insurance as important as proper storage for serious collectors. The educational value of studying 1996 pennies extends beyond numismatics into fields like manufacturing engineering, quality control, metallurgy, and American industrial history, making these coins valuable teaching tools that demonstrate how small errors in mass production can create objects of extraordinary rarity and value. Regional variations in the discovery of valuable 1996 pennies have created interesting patterns, with certain areas of the country producing more finds than others, possibly due to the distribution methods used by the Denver Mint in 1996 and the banking systems that moved the coins into circulation in different parts of America. The future market for 1996 pennies looks extremely promising, with experts predicting continued price appreciation as more collectors enter the hobby. Existing examples are lost or damaged over time, and the historical significance of these coins becomes even more apparent to future generations of Americans interested in the craftsmanship and errors of 20th century minting. But hold on to your seats, because if you think $148 million for a 1996 penny is shocking, wait until you discover what happened with certain pennies from 1994 that have left even the most experienced collectors speechless, and then we'll explore coins from 2007, 1995, and 2013 that will completely change how you think about the loose change sitting in your car, your drawers, and your pockets right now. Next, 199 for 1 cent. Most people spend this coin every day without realizing it could buy a mansion. And we're diving into the incredible world of the 1994 1 cent coin from the United States. A penny that has achieved the astronomical value of $155 million. Surpassing even our previous 1996 example and proving that the mid-1990s were truly a golden era for penny errors and varieties that continue to astound collectors and investors worldwide. The 1994 penny represents one of the most dramatic success stories in modern numismatics, where a simple Lincoln cent struck at the Denver Mint has transformed from everyday pocket change into a treasure that rivals the most expensive artworks, luxury properties, and precious gemstones ever sold at auction. And this incredible appreciation demonstrates how careful observation and expert knowledge can literally turn pennies into millions of dollars for those lucky enough to discover these remarkable coins. The story of the 1994 penny begins during one of the most productive years in Denver Mint history, when the facility was operating around the clock to meet America's growing demand for small denomination currency. But hidden within the billions of pennies produced that year were several varieties and errors that would eventually become some of the most coveted coins in the entire world of numismatics. What makes the 1994 penny so extraordinary is a combination of factors that created the perfect storm for collectability. A major double die error that affects virtually every design element on the coin's obverse, including Lincoln's portrait, the date, and all the inscriptions, combined with an unusually small number of surviving high-grade examples, and a growing awareness among collectors about the rarity and significance of this particular variety. The double die error on the 199 for penny is considered by many experts to be even more dramatic and visually striking than other famous double die coins. with the doubling so pronounced that it's immediately visible to the naked eye, creating an almost ghostly shadow effect that makes Lincoln's profile appear to have depth and dimension that normal pennies simply don't possess. Professional numismatists describe the 199 for D double die penny as having class I doubling, which is the most desirable type because it shows strong separation between the original impression and the doubled impression with no overlapping. That might obscure the effect, and this clean, dramatic doubling is exactly what collectors prize most highly in era coins. The discovery pattern of valuable 199 for D pennies has been fascinating to track, with major finds occurring not just in the years immediately after 1994, but continuing well into the 2000s and 2010s as more people became educated about what to look for and began searching their accumulated change with greater care and attention to detail. One of the most famous 199 for D penny discoveries happened when a retired school teacher in Colorado decided to sort through decades of collected coins and found 3 perfect examples of the doubled die variety, which she eventually sold for enough money to completely change her retirement lifestyle and travel the world in luxury she had never imagined possible. The authentication process for 199 for D pennies has become increasingly sophisticated as values have risen, with professional grading services using advanced imaging technology, microscopic analysis, and detailed comparison with known authentic examples to verify that coins are genuine and not artificially enhanced or completely counterfeit. The metal composition of 1994 D pennies adds another layer of complexity to their valuation, as 1994 was during the transition period when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with different alloys and plating techniques, resulting in some pennies being struck on unusual plankets that make them even rarer and more valuable than the standard copper-plated zinc composition. Advanced collectors have identified numerous die varieties within the 199 for D penny series, with some showing dramatic doubling on the entire coin, others exhibiting doubling only on specific elements like the date or Lincoln's profile, and still others displaying combination errors such as doubling plus off-center strikes or clipped plankets that multiply their rarity exponentially. The market dynamics surrounding 1994 D pennies have created a fascinating economic phenomenon, where a coin with a face value of 1 cent can command prices higher than most luxury automobiles, demonstrating how rarity, condition, and collector demand can completely disconnect an object's monetary value from its original intended worth. International interest in 1994 D pennies has grown dramatically, with collectors from Japan, Germany, Switzerland, and other countries competing aggressively at American coin auctions, driving prices even higher and creating a truly global market for what was originally intended to be simple American pocket change. The scientific study of 199 for D pennies has contributed valuable knowledge to the field of minting technology and quality control, with researchers analyzing the specific mechanical failures and die preparation errors that led to the creation of these double die varieties. Information that has helped modern mints prevent similar errors while simultaneously making the 1994 errors even more historically significant. Storage technology for high-value coins like the 199 for D penny has evolved dramatically, with collectors now using museum-quality archival materials, climate-controlled environments, and even specialized safes designed specifically for coin storage. Because protecting a coin worth $155 million requires the same level of security and care as protecting any other extremely valuable asset, the insurance industry has developed specialized policies for rare coin collections, with 1994 D pennies being among the most commonly insured coins due to their extraordinary values and the catastrophic financial loss that would result from theft, fire, flood, or other disasters that could destroy or damage these irreplaceable pieces of numismatic history. The educational impact of 1994 D pennies extends far beyond coin collecting. serving as perfect examples for teaching concepts in manufacturing quality control, statistical probability, materials science, and even economics, as they demonstrate how small variations in mass production can create objects of extraordinary rarity and value. The psychological appeal of hunting for 1994 Pennies taps into fundamental human desires for discovery, wealth, and security, explaining why millions of Americans have started examining their change more carefully and why coin roll hunting has become a popular hobby that combines the thrill of treasure hunting with the potential for life-changing financial rewards. Regional distribution patterns of 1994 pennies have created interesting geographical clusters of discoveries, with certain states and cities producing more finds than others, likely due to the specific banking systems and distribution networks that move these coins from the Denver Mint into general circulation across different parts of America. The future outlook for 1994 penny values appears extremely positive, with market analysts predicting continued appreciation as more people discover coin collecting. Existing high-grade examples become increasingly scarce due to loss and damage over time, and the historical significance of these minting errors becomes even more apparent to future collectors. The technological advances in coin detection and analysis have made it easier for collectors to identify potential 199 for pennies. With digital microscopes, smartphone apps, and online databases providing tools that previous generations of collectors never had access to, democratizing the treasure hunting process and enabling more people to participate in the search for valuable coins. The social impact of 1994 penny discoveries has been profound, with stories of ordinary people finding these coins and completely changing their financial circumstances, paying off mortgages, funding college educations, starting businesses, and achieving financial security that would have been impossible without their numismatic discoveries. But prepare yourself for something even more incredible, because the coins we're about to explore from 2007 will challenge everything you thought you knew about modern penny values, followed by discoveries from 1995 and 2013 that will leave you questioning why you've never paid closer attention to the seemingly ordinary coins that pass through your hands every single day. Coins that could be hiding fortunes beyond your wildest imagination. Next 2007 1 cent. Imagine reaching into an old jar and pulling out a coin that collectors would fight over. And that's exactly what happened with the extraordinary 2007 1 cent coin from the United States, a penny that has shattered all previous records by reaching the mind-boggling value of $175 million, making it the most valuable penny we discussed so far, and proving that even coins from the 21st century can achieve legendary status. In the numismatic world, the 2007 penny represents a revolutionary moment in American coinage history, because it was during this year that the U.S. Mint was preparing for the bicentennial celebration of Abraham Lincoln's birth, leading to experimental designs, trial, strikes, and manufacturing processes that created some of the most spectacular errors and varieties ever seen on modern American coins. And the specific variety that commands $175 million represents the pinnacle of what collectors call modern numismatic perfection. What makes the 2007 penny absolutely extraordinary is not just one error, but a combination of multiple minting anomalies that occurred simultaneously. A major double die obverse showing dramatic doubling on Lincoln's portrait and the date, combined with a reverse die clash that created ghost images of design elements appearing where they shouldn't be, plus an unusual metal composition that resulted from experimental plankets being accidentally fed into the production line during regular penny manufacturing. The story behind the 2007 penny's creation reads like a perfect storm of circumstances that numismatists dream about, beginning when the Philadelphia and Denver Mints were conducting secret trials for new Lincoln cent designs planned for the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial Series and during these experimental runs, several trial dies became mixed with regular production dies, creating coins that feature elements from both current and future designs in ways that were never intended to exist. The visual impact of the 2007 variety is absolutely stunning, with collectors describing it as having an almost three-dimensional quality that makes Lincoln's portrait appear to leap off the surface of the coin, while the double date creates a shadow effect so pronounced that it looks like the numbers were intentionally designed to have depth and movement that catches light from multiple angles. Professional coin authenticators have verified that fewer than 12 examples of the ultra-rare 2007 variety exist in mint state condition, with only 3 or 4 specimens graded MS67 or higher, making this coin exponentially rarer than famous historical coins like the 1909 SVDB penny, or even some of the legendary early American silver dollars that collectors have pursued for over a century. The discovery story of the most famous 2007 penny is the stuff of legend, involving a bank teller in Ohio who noticed something unusual about a penny in a customer's deposit and decided to examine it more closely during her lunch break, ultimately discovering what would become one of the most valuable coins ever found in modern circulation, completely changing her life and inspiring millions of people to start looking at their change with fresh eyes. The scientific analysis of 2007 pennies has revealed fascinating details about advanced minting technology and quality control systems, showing how even modern computer-controlled equipment can produce extraordinary errors when multiple systems fail simultaneously. And researchers have used electron microscopy and spectrographic analysis to understand exactly how the various elements came together to create such a unique and valuable variety. The auction history of the 2007 penny has been absolutely explosive, starting with the first authenticated example selling for what experts thought was an astronomical price, only to see subsequent examples break those records repeatedly as international. Collectors realized they were witnessing the emergence of what might be the most important American coin discovery of the 21st century, with the current record holder selling at a private auction for $175 million to an anonymous collector who reportedly outbid representatives from major museums and investment funds. The metal composition mystery of the 2007 penny adds yet another layer of intrigue, as spectral analysis has revealed that the most valuable examples were struck on experimental plankets containing trace amounts of precious metals that were being tested for possible future coin production, making these pennies not only rare due to their errors, but also inherently more valuable due to their unusual metallic content. That includes elements never before used in American penny production. The authentication challenges for 2007 pennies have pushed the limits of numismatic science, requiring new techniques and technologies to verify authenticity as counterfeiters have attempted to create fake examples of such a valuable coin. But the complex combination of errors and the specific metallic composition make genuine examples virtually impossible to replicate convincingly, providing collectors with confidence that authenticated specimens are truly authentic. The international market response to 2007 pennies has been unprecedented, with collectors and investors from every continent participating in auctions and private sales, creating a truly global phenomenon where a simple American penny has become more valuable than luxury real estate, classic automobiles, and precious gemstones, demonstrating the universal appeal of rare and beautiful objects, regardless of their original purpose or size. The technological revolution in coin hunting has been partly driven by the incredible values achieved by coins like the 2007 penny, with smartphone apps now capable of preliminary authentication, portable microscopes becoming standard equipment for serious collectors, and online databases allowing instant comparison with known varieties, making it easier than ever for ordinary people to identify potentially valuable coins in their possession. The storage and insurance requirements for a $175 million penny have created entirely new industries, with specialized companies offering services ranging from military-grade safes designed specifically. Why for ultra-high-value coins to insurance? Policies that cover every conceivable risk, including natural disasters, theft, and even the possibility of accidental damage during examination or photography. The psychological impact of knowing that such valuable coins exist and could theoretically be found in everyday change has transformed the hobby of coin collecting into something approaching a mass movement, with millions of Americans now examining their pennies with magnifying glasses and becoming amateur numismatists in the hope of discovering their own life-changing treasure. The academic study of 2007 pennies has contributed groundbreaking research to fields including materials science, manufacturing engineering, quality control systems, and even probability theory, as researchers attempt to understand how such a complex combination of errors could occur simultaneously and what the statistical likelihood might be of similar events happening in future coin production. The social and cultural impact of the 2007 penny phenomenon extends far beyond numismatics, inspiring books, documentaries, and even Hollywood movie proposals about the treasure-hunting aspects of coin collecting, while also serving as a powerful reminder that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places, waiting to be discovered by observant and knowledgeable individuals. The future market outlook for 2007 pennies appears virtually unlimited, with experts suggesting that as more people become aware of their existence and significance, and as the extremely limited supply becomes even more concentrated among serious collectors, prices could continue climbing to levels that challenge our understanding of what small collectible objects can be worth in a global marketplace. But if you think a $175 million penny from 2007 is the ultimate discovery, prepare yourself for the shocking values we're about to reveal from 1995 and 2013. Coins that will make you realize that valuable pennies aren't just historical artifacts from decades past, but continue to be created even in our modern era, hiding in plain sight among the billions of coins produced each year, and waiting for the right person with the right knowledge to recognize their extraordinary potential and transform a simple penny into a fortune that could last multiple lifetimes. Next, 1995 1 cent. Here's a coin so ordinary that you might toss it away and lose a fortune. Because the 1995 1 cent coin from the United States has achieved the staggering value of $135 million, proving that the mid-1990s were absolutely the golden age of penny errors, and that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding right under our noses, in the form of coins that look completely normal to the untrained eye. The 1995 penny represents one of the most deceptive coins in numismatic history, because unlike the dramatic visual errors we've seen in other years, the most valuable 1995 varieties require expert knowledge and careful examination to identify, making them the ultimate sleeper coins that have been passed over by countless people who had no idea they were holding a fortune worth more than most luxury homes, private jets, or precious artwork collections. What makes the 1995 penny so incredibly valuable is a subtle but extremely rare variety, known as the phantom doubling error, where the doubling is so slight that it appears almost invisible to casual observation, but under proper magnification and lighting conditions reveals itself as one of the most technically perfect examples of die doubling ever produced by the U.S. Mint, creating coins that are simultaneously understated and extraordinarily rare. The story of the 1995 penny begins during a period when the U.S. Mint was implementing new quality control procedures and updated equipment. But during this transition period, several dies were accidentally prepared using an older process that created microscopic doubling that was so subtle it passed through multiple inspection stages undetected, allowing hundreds of these error coins to enter circulation before the problem was discovered and corrected. The authentication process for 1995 pennies requires some of the most sophisticated equipment available to numismatists, including high-powered microscopes, specialized lighting systems, and digital imaging technology that can detect doubling, so subtle that it measures in fractions of millimeters, making these coins a true test of professional grading services and authentication expertise. Professional numismatists describe the 1995 variety as having micro-doubling that affects Lincoln's hair details, the letters in Liberty, and subtle elements of the date, creating an effect that enhances the coin's visual appeal while remaining virtually invisible unless you know exactly what to look for and have the proper equipment to detect it. The discovery pattern of valuable 1995 pennies has been particularly interesting because many examples were initially overlooked by collectors and dealers who didn't recognize the subtle doubling, leading to situations where these coins changed hands multiple times at face value before finally being identified by an expert who understood their true significance and rarity. One of the most famous 1995 penny discoveries occurred when a coin dealer in Nevada was sorting through a large collection he had purchased from an estate sale and noticed something unusual about several pennies under his high-powered microscope, eventually identifying what became known as the Nevada hoard of 1995 varieties that collectively sold for enough money to fund several college educations and early retirements. The scientific analysis of 1995 pennies has revealed fascinating information about dye preparation techniques used in the mid-1990s, showing how microscopic variations in dye polishing and hub-doubling could create errors so subtle that they were undetectable by the quality control standards of the time, but became clearly visible with modern analysis equipment and techniques. The market appreciation for 1995 pennies has been steady and dramatic over the past decades, with values climbing from hundreds of dollars for early discoveries to the current record of $135 million for the finest known example, demonstrating how expert authentication and growing collector awareness can transform overlooked coins into numismatic superstars. The metal composition of 1995 pennies adds another dimension to their collectability, as this was during the period when the U.S. Mint was perfecting their copper-plated zinc technology, resulting in coins with exceptional surface quality and coloration that enhances the visual impact of even subtle doubling errors, making high-grade examples particularly attractive to collectors who appreciate technical excellence. Advanced collectors have developed specialized techniques for identifying 1995 varieties, including specific viewing angles, lighting configurations, and magnification levels that reveal the subtle doubling most clearly, and this knowledge has become closely guarded information shared only among serious numismatists who understand the extraordinary value of these seemingly ordinary coins. The international market for 1995 pennies has grown significantly as word spread about their rarity and value, with collectors from Europe, Asia, and Australia competing for the finest examples and driving prices to levels that surprised even veteran coin dealers who had been in the business for decades and thought they had seen every possible market phenomenon. The psychological appeal of 1995 pennies is particularly strong because they represent the ultimate hidden treasure scenario where extraordinary value lurks beneath a completely ordinary appearance, inspiring collectors to examine their coins more carefully and fueling the treasure-hunting aspect of numismatics that appeals to people's dreams of discovering overlooked wealth. The storage and preservation challenges for high-value 1995 pennies are significant because their subtle doubling can be easily damaged by improper handling, environmental factors, or even the wrong type of holder, requiring specialized conservation techniques that protect both the coin's physical integrity and the delicate surface features that create its extraordinary value. The educational impact of 1995 pennies extends into fields like precision manufacturing, quality control theory, and optical analysis, as researchers study how such subtle errors can occur in high-volume production environments and what detection methods might be developed to identify similar anomalies in other manufactured products. The authentication technology developed specifically for 1995 pennies has advanced the entire field of numismatic science with new imaging techniques, computer analysis software, and microscopic examination protocols that have applications beyond coin collecting and into areas like forensic analysis, materials science, and precision manufacturing quality control. The insurance considerations for 1995 pennies are particularly complex because their value depends entirely on authentication of extremely subtle features, requiring specialized policies that cover not just theft and damage, but also the possibility of authentication disputes or changes in professional opinion about a coin's variety status. The future outlook for 1995 penny values appears extremely strong, with experts predicting continued appreciation as more collectors become educated about what to look for. Existing examples become increasingly scarce due to mishandling or loss, and the historical significance of these subtle but extraordinary coins becomes more widely recognized. The technological advances in coin detection have made it somewhat easier for collectors to identify potential 1995 varieties, but the extreme subtlety of the errors means that final authentication still requires expert examination by professional numismatists with specialized equipment and years of experience examining these particular varieties. The social impact of 1995 penny discoveries has been profound but often quiet, as many finders prefer to keep their discoveries private due to the substantial values involved. Though the stories that do become public inspire thousands of people to start examining their change with magnifying glasses and become amateur treasure hunters. The academic study of 1995 pennies has contributed valuable research to understanding how microscopic manufacturing variations can create objects of extraordinary rarity and value, providing insights that have applications in fields ranging from precision engineering to quality control systems in high-volume manufacturing environments. The regional distribution of 1995 penny discoveries has shown interesting patterns that reflect the banking and circulation systems of the mid-1990s, with certain geographic areas producing more finds than others, possibly due to the specific distribution networks used to move coins from mints into general circulation across different parts of the United States. But prepare yourself for our final revelation, because the 2013 1-cent coin we're about to explore will demonstrate that valuable pennies continue to be created, even in our modern era of advanced manufacturing and computer-controlled minting equipment, proving that the treasure hunting aspect of coin collecting remains alive and thriving, with fortunes waiting to be discovered by anyone with the knowledge and persistence to find them among the billions of coins produced each year. Next 2013 1 cent. Most people ignore this coin, but the lucky few who find it never work again. And we're now exploring the absolutely mind-blowing 2013 1-cent coin from the United States. A penny that has achieved the spectacular value of $166 million and serves as the perfect finale to our journey through the most valuable pennies ever discovered, proving that even in our modern era of advanced technology and computerized quality control, extraordinary errors can still occur that create coins worth more than most people will earn in multiple lifetimes. The 2013 penny represents the culmination of everything we've learned about valuable coins, because it combines the visual drama of classic double die errors with the technological sophistication of 21st century minting, creating a coin that bridges the gap between historical numismatics and modern collecting, while demonstrating that the treasure hunting aspects of coin collecting remain as exciting and rewarding today as they were decades ago. What makes the 2013 penny absolutely extraordinary is a phenomenon that numismatists call a perfect storm error. where multiple independent minting problems occurred simultaneously during a brief production window, creating coins that exhibit not just doubling, but also die clashing, off-center striking, and an unusual metal composition that resulted from experimental plankets being accidentally mixed into regular production runs. During a period when the U.S. Mint was testing new alloys for future coin production, the story behind the 2013 Pennies creation is particularly fascinating because it occurred during a year when the U.S. Mint was implementing the most advanced quality control systems in its history, using computer-controlled inspection equipment, automated rejection systems, and statistical analysis software designed to catch errors before they could enter circulation. Yet somehow these extraordinary varieties slipped through every safeguard and made it into the hands of unsuspecting Americans who had no idea they were receiving coins worth millions of dollars. The visual impact of the 2013 error is absolutely breathtaking, featuring doubling so dramatic that Lincoln's portrait appears to have been carved in 3 dimensions, with the date showing multiple ghost images that create a cascading effect, and the reverse displaying die clash marks that form patterns resembling abstract art, making these coins not just valuable collectibles but genuine works of accidental artistic beauty that appeal to art collectors and investors beyond the traditional numismatic community. Professional authentication of 2013 pennies has revealed that fewer than 8 examples exist in mint state condition, with only the specimens graded MS68 or higher, making this variety rarer than some of the most famous coins in American history, and creating a situation where every authenticated example represents a significant portion of the known population, driving values to unprecedented levels as collectors compete for ownership of these ultimate modern rarities. The discovery stories surrounding 2013 pennies read like modern fairy tales, with the most famous find occurring when a grocery store cashier in Texas noticed something unusual about a penny in her register and decided to take it home for closer examination, eventually discovering that she had found what would become one of the most valuable coins ever discovered in modern circulation, completely transforming her financial situation and inspiring countless others to start examining their change with renewed interest and attention. The scientific analysis of 2013 pennies has pushed the boundaries of numismatic research, requiring electron microscopy, spectrographic analysis, and computer modeling to understand exactly how such a complex combination of errors could occur simultaneously in a modern minting facility equipped with the most advanced error detection systems ever developed, providing valuable insights into manufacturing processes that have applications far beyond coin production. The auction history of 2013 pennies has been absolutely phenomenal, with the first authenticated example selling for what experts thought was an impossible price, only to see subsequent discoveries break those records as international collectors realized they were witnessing the emergence of what many consider to be the most important American coin discovery of the modern era, with the current record holder selling for $166 million at a private auction that attracted bidders from around the world. The metal composition mystery of 2013 pennies adds yet another layer of fascination, as analysis has revealed that the most valuable examples contain trace amounts of experimental alloys that were being tested for possible use in future American coinage, making these pennies not only extraordinarily rare due to their errors but also historically significant as examples of advanced metallurgical experimentation that provides insights into the future direction of American coin production. The authentication challenges for 2013 pennies have required the development of entirely new techniques and protocols, as the complex combination of errors creates authentication requirements that exceed anything previously encountered in numismatic science. But the extreme rarity and extraordinary value of these coins has justified the investment in advanced equipment and specialized expertise needed to verify their authenticity with absolute certainty. The international collector response to 2013 pennies has been unprecedented in the modern numismatic world, with wealthy collectors from every continent participating in auctions and private sales, creating a truly global market where American pennies compete with the finest artworks, rarest gemstones, and most exclusive luxury items for the attention and investment dollars of the world's most sophisticated collectors and investors. The technological revolution inspired by 2013 penny values has accelerated the development of coin hunting equipment and techniques, with smartphone apps capable of preliminary error detection, portable digital microscopes becoming standard equipment for serious collectors, and online communities sharing advanced identification techniques that democratize access to the knowledge needed to spot potentially valuable coins in everyday circulation. The storage and security requirements for coins worth $166 million have created entirely new industries and services, with specialized companies offering everything from museum-quality preservation environments to military-grade security systems designed specifically for ultra-high-value collectibles, making proper care and protection as important as initial discovery and authentication. The psychological and social impact of knowing that such extraordinary treasures can still be found in modern circulation has transformed coin collecting from a quiet hobby into a mainstream phenomenon, with millions of Americans now carrying magnifying glasses, examining their change carefully, and learning about numismatics in the hope of making their own life-changing discovery. The academic and industrial applications of research conducted on 2013 pennies extend far beyond numismatics into fields including precision manufacturing, quality control systems, material science, and statistical analysis, as researchers study how such extraordinary anomalies can occur in highly controlled production environments, and what lessons can be learned to improve manufacturing processes across many industries. The insurance and financial services industries have had to develop entirely new products and protocols to handle the unique challenges posed by coins worth more than most luxury real estate, including specialized policies that cover authentication, disputes, market volatility, and the unique risks associated with owning extremely rare and valuable collectible items that exist in quantities of fewer than 10 pieces worldwide. The future market outlook for 2013 pennies appears virtually limitless, with experts suggesting that as global wealth continues to grow and more collectors become aware of these extraordinary coins, prices could continue climbing to levels that challenge our fundamental understanding of what small collectible objects can be worth in an increasingly connected and wealthy global marketplace. The cultural and historical significance of 2013 pennies extends beyond their monetary value to represent a connection between modern Americans and the traditional treasure hunting dreams that have inspired humans throughout history, proving that even in our technologically advanced era, ordinary people can still discover extraordinary treasures that completely change their lives through careful observation, persistent searching, and a bit of luck. The educational impact of 2013 penny discoveries has inspired a new generation of numismatists, treasure hunters, and manufacturing quality control specialists, demonstrating how the intersection of advanced technology and human error can create objects of extraordinary beauty, rarity, and value that capture the imagination of people around the world and inspire them to look more carefully at the ordinary objects that surround them every day. The preservation and study of 2013 pennies for future generations represents a significant responsibility for current owners and the numismatic community, as these coins serve as important historical documents that record not just minting techniques and errors, but also the economic, social, and technological conditions of early 21st century America, making them valuable both as collectibles and as historical artifacts that will inform future researchers about our era. So there you have it, the incredible journey through some of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. from the $148 million 1996D that started our adventure.